Happy birthday, Bitcoin. It is a freedom happy hour on Friday. First of all, grab something red, drink out of something red, wear something red. I don't know. Apparently, I don't get dressed up for Halloween because I don't get into all the satanic stuff. But you do you, boo. So this is it for today. Had a little rough week. But always good checking in with Fam Bam and my buddy Westwood. So we'll be right back right after this to celebrate Bitcoin's birthday. Hi, Westwood. Happy birthday.
Hello. Yes, happy birthday, Bitcoin. Hello, lovely Litecoin Lisa. How are you today on this fine Friday?
I'm better.
Are you?
Yeah, better than I was. So
Yeah.
haven't
I don't
been
know if you're still suffering from Westwood withdrawals or if you got something else.
always.
Well,
Always.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, they have a way to make the font bigger. It is Geriatric Friday.
Well, it's Geriatric Friday today. we can only keep this show going for about a half an hour. You know, we can't stay up past 7:30.
Yeah, we were talking about like, oh my gosh, how funny these oh now what is this? Size, regular, tall, ooh, wide. Oh, that's good. That's not in your face.
You know, the Gothic script, you know.
Okay. New things on my little software that I have.
Very nice.
But definitely having a geriatric Friday. Oh,
Get
so
your readers, everybody.
get your readers, everybody. Yeah, those are the glasses I should have put on.
Readers and cheaters.
Whatever you want to call them. Sometimes cheating
I got
evens the playing field.
my
You know,
fancy glasses.
your Elton John's on.
I ran on. I got my
Yeah, you got your Elton John's on. I
One
was
thing I
really
don't want
disappointed they didn't do the public Hillary pickup because, like, the Q post pointed to that. You know, because I guess they actually arrested her, but then maybe yesterday was when they were supposed to do. I don't know. There were just hints all about it, and I thought, come on, man, give us one glimmer of hope.
I know. Come on, throw us a bone.
Yeah, and
I know.
nothing. The evildoers, they're fake entities. I mean, I think it's all already been done. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but I'm just so tired of the movie.
Right. Yeah, it's wearing me down here.
It's wearing me down.
It's wearing me down. How many parts in this freaking thing?
But don't you think
too many intermissions? I can't keep coming back for the rest.
Yeah. Don't you think a lot of this movie being drug out has, at this time, like they've done a whatever militarily with evil ones and blah, blah, blah. I think that they needed to do, but isn't the timing, the reason for dragging it out and having the story and letting all this time pass by is, one, to let people have time to do the research themselves,
Wake up.
get educated, find out, have their own awakening.
Yeah.
But then also we needed time for this dollar to unwind.
Yeah, you got to run it hot and hard. I mean, you know, and implode it. I guess you know, who knows what the end of it is? You know, how long before I blow up this engine? I don't know. I'm running it hot. You know, it's still running. You know, and you keep on running it. I don't know. Yeah, and maybe some of these trade deals and everything that's happening right now, that's part of it, because you don't hear about the BRICS anymore, do you?
No.
You really don't. That was like the big thing. Oh, the BRICS is going to take out the Western world and the US, and then you really don't hear about it.
But then a lot of them backpedaled on their own promises to the BRICS. They were like, well, we're still going to take US dollars.
Yeah, we kind of still need to trade with the US after all.
Yeah, it's like you made your own club, but or you know, got a new girlfriend. Yeah, but I still go home every once in a while.
Yeah, right. You know, I'm
like,
still hitting the old one up. You know,
yeah, just
yeah,
bad taste. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't really see much from the BRICS. You know, he's making deals with all of them, or strong arming them, or doing whatever it takes to bring them into a, you know, kind of a trade block. I mean, you've got China, and really Russia's the only one that I don't know that we've done anything with. They're kind of the outlier on all this stuff, but everything else seems to be in place. So maybe that's got to be in line, and then you can reset it somehow.
A big shout out and thank you to Rainy Steps for the donation to the channel. That's super kind of you.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I really appreciate that. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, watching Trump kind of drag all these, leaders around by their nose and
Mhm.
watch things happen. That partnership with Japan, which we've always been so closely linked to Japan's uh, economy, and all of that. So that was not a surprise to me at all. Um, but this latest move where it's like Russia wouldn't play or then start threatening the nukes in China, and Trump's like, then I'm gonna make a deal with Xi.
Yeah,
Because I was watching this really great interview. It's a guy I've been following for a while. Forest for the Trees guys. Um,
it's right up my alley.
Yeah, I'm sure you follow him, but,
I might. I have no idea.
um,
I follow myself. I
it was
trust myself.
it was on Mark Crow's channel, but it was an interview with oh, did I send it to myself? Anyway, he starts from a farmer's perspective and starts talking about how owning land is not the same. You're not gonna be able to buy a house and be rich anymore or
No,
think about wealth anymore. That, the whole economy has shifted, and he's like, even especially if you look at it at a farmer's perspective, like, it's been happening to us over time where, like, our land has not increased in value, but or kept up with what we're getting paid for farming the land, to farm the land. And
right,
so at some point that breaks, that's not natural. You can't keep, going to work for when it costs you more to pay in gas
right.
than
Diesel fuel, and then you look at this year, the corn prices aren't that high. I mean, they're a little depressed, and so you got to farm more land, and that's kind of what happens is you've got the big farms are absorbing the smaller parcels of land, and they're paying a lot of money for it, but
Mhm.
they already have the equipment, they already have the infrastructure in their business, so they can kind of do that and add, okay, I'm going to add 40 more acres, 50, 100 more acres to what I'm already doing. Whereas if you got a startup, if somebody wants to start up with 100 acres, it's like, okay, now I got all these input costs. But still, you're right. I mean, you've got the input costs, you've got the carrying costs of borrowing the land, the money for the land. And what are you putting up for it? I don't know. Or are you able to buy it in cash? I don't
Right.
know. But yeah, I mean, there's a certain level of input that it takes, and the crops right now aren't yielding that much. And it's not
No.
like diesel fuel is getting super cheap. So
No, but
yeah, and
Trump just made
electricity's going through the roof, for
Mhm.
any farm buildings, and drying the corn and beans and all that stuff probably has to be more.
Yeah. Trump just made a huge deal with Xi that they're gonna buy a bunch of our farmers' soybeans, which I thought had maybe a twofold,
Here, take
because,
this
there was
GMO soy and eat all
well,
that for.
he's basically selling it all back to them.
Yeah.
Like, "Here's all your GMO soy boy make your country weak having soy-based
Mhm. Right.
economy or
Right.
food system." And, it was really interesting, but it's Luke Grauman.
I
Um,
know that name. Yeah. I don't.
yeah, and he was on, Vance Crow's not
Okay.
Mark Crow, Vance Crow's channel, but it was really good because he started out from a farmer's perspective, and then he went into talking about how Bitcoin is kind of, and when I say Bitcoin, some cryptocurrencies, proof of work cryptocurrencies, so Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digbyte, are like the new property or real estate.
Yeah.
And then there was another interview I watched because I've been in bed a lot, not feeling good this week, so I've been watching a lot of interviews with which I never watch Michael Saylor. He just annoys the crap out of me.
He is annoying.
But he was on with Natalie Brunell, who I adore, and so I watched it. And he made a statement that I it's a little maxi, but I also understand it to where I could see Bitcoin still having a use case, even though it's not money.
Right.
Bitcoin is more like real estate, is what he talked about. And
Right.
he said, like, where people used to buy, uh, buildings in Manhattan or
Mhm.
whatever, waiting for the property to value to go up. And then we've talked
Yeah.
about like, oh, you take a loan against because the property value is always going up. The loan pays itself off, kind of thing. Well, Bitcoin is that way. It's a property that you hold in your
Right.
possession that
Mhm.
you could take loans against because most likely it's going to go up, up, up. And she goes, okay, well, what about the fee issue? And he's like, well, if I'm going to buy $1 million apartment in New York, you're going to pay 6%
Right.
to realtors, not
Mhm.
including closing costs and whatever else you have to pay.
Right.
Then you're going to have to insure it. Then there's expenses, maintenance on it, all this. He goes,
Mhm.
Bitcoin is not a 6% fee.
Right.
Yeah, it might cost me, $1,000 to move $1 million of Bitcoin.
Right.
And it might take a little longer, but
Mhm.
I'm okay with that because of the security that it is, and
Right.
it it's a property.
Right.
And so that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I can take both sides of that argument. The first one, no, he's right from that standpoint, as long as everybody believes it's Manhattan real estate. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
At least there was a tangible item in Manhattan to where you've got location, you get views, you got people there, people want to be there. As long as people want to be in Bitcoin and see value in it, then that premise works. The alternative is it's complete, and this is fine because everything evolves. Um, it's completely counter to what the Bitcoin white paper is. Completely counter as far as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the people
Right,
that
it's
need it.
not a cash system.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
unusable at that point for the average guy and, your middle, lower class. And, it just is because you can't pay $1,000 transaction fee. If you put $10,000 in it and that's all you've got, and at some point you got to pay $1,000 transaction fee, you're getting shaved for 10%. And now you can only move it once. If you move it again, you pay another $1,000. And so it is the gold of the central banks, I guess you could
Right.
say. And if it suits that role, that's fine. It
That's
works.
to me, I'm like, this brings more argument for having multiple coins because we have
Absolutely.
multiple
Yes.
solutions now.
Correct.
Bitcoin solves that problem,
Yes.
but it doesn't solve the cash problem,
No.
the
And so
transaction problem.
correct. And so for it to be the end all be all, like some people tout that it's going to fix everything, it can't fix everything.
Mhm.
It's just not going to fix everything because it's not going to change the code if you've got that kind of money in it. People are going to be like, don't touch it. Leave it alone. We're keeping it the way it is. We don't care about transaction fees. Lock it up.
Yeah.
And so, okay, now it's not money for the people. So that's fine. Just acknowledge that and don't lie to people. I'm not saying he is, but a lot of people
No, no, no.
do. They'll
Yeah.
lie to people and say that, oh, well, Bitcoin's everything. You don't need Litecoin. You don't need Digibyte. You don't need anything else. Well, that's not true. I mean, if you need a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, Bitcoin is not it. And so let's be
And if
honest
you
about
need
it.
privacy, Bitcoin is not it.
That's true.
But there are other coins that if you need those things. And then there's other situations where you need a public transaction, but you need
Absolutely.
low fees. Well,
Right.
Bitcoin's not that either. So, happy birthday, Bitcoin. We're giving pluses and
Yeah.
minuses.
Right.
But I did think it was some great points that he brought up.
They are
Um,
good points. Let me grab the white paper.
yeah, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Sailor fan. Like, because typically my belief is that he's pumping Bitcoin to stack his bags of his own
That's where he's got his money. Of course, he's
Wall
going to talk
Street.
the Bitcoin bag.
Well, and it's so he can buy more or put more value in his stocks of his company, is my understanding. So,
Yeah, because it's pretty much all it does at this point is buys Bitcoin. It's like a Bitcoin reserve fund,
right. So,
kind of
kind of.
ish.
Anyway, I kind of got a kick
Well,
out of it.
Yeah, in honor of that, I'll read the first sentence from the Bitcoin white paper. I've got it on my website. You go to clintwestwood.net. You can download the PDF, read it yourself, read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the abstract, the first line of it. And this was the premise. All right. It says a purely peer to peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. And that's the premise of the whole thing. Peer-to-peer electronic cash, permissionless, no intermediary, nothing in between, no government, no bank, and being able to send your value to someone else electronically, which that's a tremendous value to be able to do that, especially in this age, this time and time we live in. It's just that, yeah, if you got fees like that, good luck. And I mean, I've seen Bitcoin fees at $50, and that's really high because it's congested and you got too many transactions vying for the small block spaces that come out every 10 minutes. And you're waiting in line. So you got to up the fee, and you got to pay $50 to get on that bus.
I was gonna
Otherwise,
say
you wait
there's
for the
only
next
so
bus.
many seats on the bus, though.
Right. Exactly. It's limited. And so, sending that kind of value over a network like Litecoin right now, it'll suffer from the same thing in the future. It's just got a lot more capacity before it ever gets to that point. But as it rises in value and, people see the value of that network, it'll have the same types of issues. And so you go to another blockchain, you go to Digibyte. I mean, or use another blockchain that's been around, the proof of work blockchain that you trust. And that's why it's important to have multiple blockchains.
So there might be a time where Litecoin transitions to more of a privacy
It's
option of
it's
holding real
yeah.
estate.
It's kind of happening now. I mean, in the MWeb side of it, the privacy side of it, there's, I think, 280,000 Litecoin in it, and it's been climbing and climbing and climbing. You got to realize there's about 75, 76 million Litecoin that have been mined out, a total of 84 million. And you've got, over a quarter of a million, approaching a third of a million getting locked up in that privacy layer, and it's continuing to climb. I mean, the numbers going up. So people are starting to see that, internalize that, oh, wait a minute, I can use Litecoin for payments and moving money quickly, and it's affordable, and I can also put it in a private place. So that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool, especially
Yeah.
with all these crazy things going on. I kind of wanted to stay on Bitcoin a little bit, at least for
Mhm.
the beginning,
Yep.
for its birthday, and try to stay on target. Um,
17 years.
yeah, so there's always been the theory that Bitcoin was created by Satoshi, and one time they thought that guy from Hawaii or whatever, but that was, and then the CIA even said that they interviewed somebody, but then when somebody FOIA'd them, they said they didn't have anything. So it's very interesting. What would make sense to you, like who would have been involved with the creation of Bitcoin, in your opinion?
Man, that's a tough one. I've looked at it and I've heard all kinds of different names. I've heard people name names of the
Mhm.
person, and they're 100% confident that it is that person. I really don't know. I mean, and to me, I guess it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
From the standpoint of, if it were a closed source system, where you couldn't see the code. Well, since it's open source, it really doesn't matter because it was released to the world, and whoever did it, whatever group. I mean, I think the NSA invented SHA-256, the algorithm that it uses. So you got that going for it, but it's just an algorithm they chose to use, just like Charlie Lee chose to use script or script. So it's just a choice as far as encryption. And so it really doesn't matter to me. It's just the fact that it does exist, and it is the genesis of all of the other blockchains in a lot of ways, because you can just copy the code and tweak it and make another blockchain if you want to, and it's up to people to decide if it has value. And so that was unleashed, with that white paper, and then the first block that got mined in January of 2009, Bitcoin. And so to me, it doesn't matter. It's just it's something for humanity to use, and whoever did it, it's probably better that it's an anonymous person. It gives it more of an ethereal, mysterious, origin, in which I think is good.
yeah,
I can
I
benefit, I
agree.
think.
I agree on your points. I was thinking part of the reason that I came up with asking you that, or wanted to ask you that, was because I was thinking about like Bitcoin and some of its like simplest form um, is really like a messaging system, or like sending emails. And then I think about who created the first email, and that was that Dr. Shiva.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, even somebody like that could have been involved with a piece of it.
Right. And
Like
that
I've
could
got,
be like a working group that,
yeah.
because I've heard that theory before, and we've known somebody who said he was part of that working group, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Yeah.
But but the working group, that Bix has kicked around with Alan Greenspan, Hal Finney,
Right.
I think that name gets put
Yeah,
in that
that's a
box
big one.
a
Yeah.
lot. But I wondered if Dr. Shiva might have something to do with it, with the way the messaging system works so similarly to email, you know. Anyway,
I
just
mean, it could have been a situation where it was compartmentalized because that's what governments do, and you've got all these ideas that the one hand doesn't know what the other one's talking about, and they're gleaning
Mhm.
information, the ideas of doing it. And then it's like, okay, you sit down with all these great ideas we came up with, or they're fed these ideas to think that they're their ideas.
Yeah.
And, they just drop on their desk or show up in an email or by coincidence. And then that person carries it out. Who knows? I mean, it's hard to
Yeah.
say. There's a lot of
Yeah.
different ways, but I think it was necessary. It was meant to be. It's no accident, however you want to look at it, whether at the cosmic level or at the human level. It was no accident that it was released, and it was released at the time it was released, because and you've mentioned this
Yeah.
many times, the financial crash of 2008. It had run its course. The housing market imploded, the banks are imploding, Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, and bailouts, Hank Paulson in Congress, we need all this money. We're gonna have tanks on the street. And then boom, you've got Bitcoin that just shows up right after that. How
It
fortuitous.
was a no way out moment. And
Yeah,
that's where when people say, like, even myself at the beginning of this, oh, is this part of the movie that it's taking so long, this transition? But this transition actually, I mean, some people think it went back to JFK's
right,
murder,
right.
but I would even say that maybe this is really more of a financial transition, and that it kind of launched to the public when Bitcoin was released.
Yeah, it gave people an option.
We
It
might be
definitely.
further in the movie than we realize.
Yeah, that's very possible. What it did, I mean, the system that we had with the fiat dollar system, they knew it was dying. They had to know it was dying because, they took the silver out of the money in 64. We can't do this anymore. We got to clip these coins, and then, which reminds me of something. I'll come back to that and shoot me a reminder or a pinpoint, and I'll
Okay.
forget. Anyway, they took the silver out of the money in 1964, all over the place. And then in 1971, August 15th, when Nixon closes the gold window. And so at that point, you're out there freewheeling. I mean, there's nothing pinning that currency. And since then, what have we done? Nothing but just
Well, we
created,
made
created,
China
and
really
created
rich.
trillions and trillions. And yeah, outsource it to China, outsource the inflation over there. Well, they take the money and they build places they don't even need to build, cities on nowhere. And so you're getting to the point, and they knew you'd get to the point where it's got to collapse itself. They know these empires can't go on forever with a fiat system, and an unsound monetary system. I'm surprised they've gone this long. I think we're overdue. What is it? I don't know. I think we're overdue on the average, for these kind of systems.
Yeah,
And,
less than 100 years,
yeah, and we're at
180 years.
over 100. Yeah,
Mhm.
100 and what, 12 or something. We're
Yep.
coming on 13. So, yeah, I mean, there has to be an escape valve. There has to be a transition. There has to be something. And what do we see happening with cryptocurrency? I mean, they talk about stable coins that'll be able to, there's different methods to be able to transition from this system to the digital system, because it's going digital. It has to go digital. It's pretty much all digital now anyway. It's just, okay, we need a better digital. I was thinking about SNAP benefits today.
Oh,
Okay, even if they authorize the money today, how are you going to get it on those cards tomorrow? Is the banking system going to be able to clear that quickly?
Westwood.
Can it?
Yes, it can.
I
Um,
don't know.
yeah,
I mean, is it an ACH transaction? What kind of transaction is it?
they
I'm not
already
sure.
did the upgrade.
Okay, well, there you
Um,
go. I'm just thinking, if you had cryptocurrency, it'd be just like, oh, beep, there it is.
well, I do think that these recent AWS attacks,
Hmm.
first it was Gmail,
That's a couple of times.
which Trump, did you see Trump put a little candy on the Google dot
No,
or whatever that was?
no, I didn't see it.
The kids came and trick or treated at the
Oh,
White
okay.
House,
I saw. Yeah, you did post it. I did see
and
that.
there was a kid with a lampshade with all these
Yeah,
lights
yeah.
around. I assumed it was one of those Google listening devices, and he put the D on his head and told him to walk on. So it's like, no, keep going. I was like, oh, epic move.
They're listening to you everywhere, Winston. Don't you know this?
Yes. Um, yeah, no, it was okay. What were you just saying? Because I was right with you, and then I
No,
went
I
into
was just saying,
all like
with the
Google joke.
SNAP benefits, I'm trying to think, how that process works and how long it would take if the funds are authorized, like right now, can it make it onto the debit cards tomorrow morning? I
Oh,
don't,
and
you
that's why
know,
I said the AWS thing.
yeah,
So we've been talking about this forever. How are they going to do this? How are they going to switch everybody over? Well, they always need a crisis.
yes,
We've got a big comet coming in. We've got possible riots. We have this shutdown. We have this reason, that reason. You
yeah,
know what? You don't need anything. You just get on your phone and you download this app, and that is and your SNAP benefits show up, and then you go to the grocery store and go,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect time for that, problem, reaction, solution. That's the
Mhm.
way it always works. It's that Hegelian dialectic where it's, hey, we got a problem here. We need money. Everybody's pissed off. It's like, oh, well, we got a solution for you. Look, we can do this. We just thought about it. We can do this. We talked to our best people and our best guys. We ordered a bunch of pizzas in and, we saw it on the tracker and we came up with an idea and boom, here it is. We working all night.
Yeah.
Download this app. Sign in here.
Sign right here. Sign right. Make sure to check the
Yeah,
opt-in,
yeah, all the disclosures and
the
all.
disclosures that allow us to search everything on your phone and
Yeah.
track you and
By installing this
give up
Facebook
all
account,
your
you'll never be
rights.
able to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
So crazy.
Well, I mean, that day's coming though. I mean, you think about it, a lot of people right now are on government assistance. It's all electronic anyway. I don't think they send paper checks for anything anymore. It has to be electronic. And so the next logical step is to, okay, let's just avoid the hassle of sending it through the banking system or credit card routing or anything like that. And then you just use cryptocurrencies. You have your stable coins and you'll just use that or whatever.
So Charlie showed me something. Who showed me this? I don't know. Donald Trump in like a 1980s interview called
Mhm.
himself the stable genius.
He did say that before. He says, I'm a stable genius. In other words, most geniuses he's implying are a little crazy. They're not
No,
all
he's
there.
not.
They're a little out there. So he's calling himself a stable
He
genius.
knew exactly what he was gonna do is use these stable coins.
Stable genius.
Yeah, at this
Well,
time.
part of the plan.
Part of the plan. It's been going on for a
There's
long
some time travel crap going on, I think.
I
Whether
agree.
whether it's mentally, I mean, or physically, I don't know. There's got to be some time because I mean, you think the Mandela effect. I mean, everybody's experienced this. I don't know. Have they changed things and it rewrote the history and it rewrote time? I don't know. Is it changing in real time? Are we creating as we go? And it just like morphs everything that we had and everything we remember and it changes. Something's happening. I don't know what it is, but
Mhm.
it is happening.
Something's happening for sure. Oh, yeah. Um, maybe
It's
that's
like,
why there's so many different Killaries.
yeah,
She's
right.
time traveling. I'm so disappointed she didn't get picked up. Just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
When it happens, I'll be very happy.
I get it. Well, she got picked up at 9/11 that one year. She got dragged into the van. Remember?
She did a 9/11 2016.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
2016.
2016.
Okay.
Yep. And the rumors are that she was from her obesity that her head come off when they hung her in 2017. Which who knows? She's done horrible things to children. Not a lot of she can sort that out with God.
Okay.
But
I'm sure I think that kind of thing probably happens.
speaking of hanging people,
Mhm.
um, the apparently the people in UK are calling for no longer Prince. I don't know what to, he's gonna have to get a new sign like Prince the singer or whatever. He's gonna get a new he's got a new
New
name.
symbol.
Yeah, they call him Andrew like
Maybe that swirl.
Mountain Bottom or something like
Yeah,
that.
Lord Mountbatten of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's no longer Prince. He's been stripped by the King Chuck of his royal titles and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
he is living in a family estate.
No, no, no. They kicked him out.
Well, I think he's living in family property somewhere, but not the official princely
Okay, because I heard he got to
estate.
move to like a smaller castle for a little while, but
Yeah, yeah.
now they're like, nope, you have to get out of there too.
Yeah, I
And
think he's
so because of
living
that,
on some estate somewhere that's off in the,
the
woods.
people are calling for him to be held accountable. Then it's like, well, then the
Absolutely.
family must have tried him. So we want him held accountable, guilty for
Yeah.
whatever the family thought that he was guilty of. And so that was pretty.
It's a big deal. I mean, because he's definitely, you can't deny the connections. You had what, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine or Ghislaine or Ghislaine. I mean,
Yeah,
at his daughter's wedding, I think.
yeah.
And
So
wasn't
did
she
the
at
Hillary,
Chelsea's wedding, right?
so did the Clintons. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, obvious connections. I mean, Prince Charles, King Charles, whatever, Chuck the whatever number, Ground Chuck. He is I mean, used to be good buddies with Jimmy Savile. Come on.
Disgusting.
I mean, so all they're doing is at this point, like, okay, sorry about your luck. I'm higher up on the food chain, and we got to throw you to the masses. I mean, to appease them. I don't want them getting to me, so you're out of here.
Yeah.
And so, you just got to keep pushing. Call this stuff out for what it is, and put the heat on them.
Yeah.
And they don't.
And
They must
at your
have so much
lower,
wealth.
I'm
It's
sorry.
unreal. They
Yeah,
have
they
been
do.
stolen from people, for centuries. That whole family going back, and they're Germans too. I don't even think they're British. They come from the German side of
Yeah.
things.
Nothing against Germans, but
No, that's what I mean, though. It's like, you're all thinking that, this is our British crown, and it's like, yeah, but they're German ancestry, right? I mean,
another name stealer,
right. I
another,
mean, come on.
hijacking of people's wealth and
Which I
and
guess the
culture.
Norman invasion was French, so, William the Conqueror. And
Well, there you go.
nobody knows who they are. You just got to trust yourself. Forget all that stuff, right? I mean, you don't know
Yeah.
what your history is.
Yeah. But that's another way you can be more trustworthy of what you're seeing, hearing, reading, is get involved in a local level. I watched one of Nino Rodriguez back channel videos with this lady, Tracy. If you go to utahcorruption.com,
Okay.
she has put together this pro se amazing investigation where she has now been able to sidestep um, the basically the state level, corrupt state level courts that she was having to deal with by filing a RICO charge, because they not only did they go around, and so I guess the mayor, or not the mayor, the governor and lieutenant governor, I hope I have the right people, allegedly, I'll say, because I'm not completely sure. But anyway, whoever it was, I believe it was the governor and the lieutenant governor, um, did not make through. So the way they do caucus there or whatever is they have like, what's it called? Not committee. They have this little meeting party thing. Sorry, my brain's not working very good this week.
Not a
But
caucus, but something different.
is it called a caucus?
Well, that's usually what
Convention.
people. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I knew it was a C word. Convention. And but that those people did not win at convention. And so what they did is they went around and gathered signatures, and allegedly some of the signatures are false. But whether the signatures are real or false, it's not the way to that that someone's supposed to be able to get on the ballot in Utah. You have to go through convention to
Okay.
get on the ballot. Well, then because they did this, they fraudulently they like made up their own rules to the game. Oh, I didn't win. Okay, I change the rules. It's like
Yeah.
playing with the, Uno with a 4-year-old or something. And they're like making up their own rules. And he's like, so now she's proven like that's not the method. So you should have never. And they made themselves the Republican nominee on the ballot. If anything, which it couldn't be because it's not allowed, you have to go through convention. But in some other states, independents are made that way through signing, finding signatures, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
So anyway, if you go to utahcorruption.com, and anybody in the United States, our votes, our because that holds power of voting and affects all of our votes and all of our way of life and the way things happen in our nation can be a part of this lawsuit. And so my brain's really not working. What is it where there's like a big bunch of people that sue somebody?
Class action lawsuit.
Class action lawsuit that any American can sign, and it's free to join. And she is suing the pants off of them, and she has great. If you read through it, it's very comprehensive. The evidence is all there, and it's really interesting. And this is a model that other people could do in other states. And they're even saying that, like, I don't know if this is a tool. There was some tool where if that happens, yeah, I think it's if that happens, then Trump may be able to go in, or somebody, maybe it's the sheriffs and the people themselves go in and free Tina Peters out of like Colorado or somewhere. So some really good things could happen, but really good people have to stand up to do those things. So there's some resources out there if somebody's interested and has that kind of knowledge.
Yeah, what's the old quote? The only thing that evil needs to flourish is that good men do nothing.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing. But I think that's close enough. You get the idea.
Yeah. It was pretty close.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, did you see Steak and Shake? They're having like a Bitcoin reserve, I guess you could call it. They're keeping all the Bitcoin that they get because they accept Bitcoin in payment.
That's smart.
Yeah. I mean, just like you were talking about Sailor, saving money in a reserve fund. And so that's what they're going to do. They're going to keep their Bitcoin, it sounds like, and, just keep it.
Restaurants have done that for years. I worked at restaurants growing up from the time I was, I don't know, 14 or.
I'm listening, but I'm grabbing this dog that's whining.
No, you're fine. Right? You're good. A lot of restaurants pull the cash that comes in the door, and that does not go on the sheets. It might go under the sheets. Might go under a mattress somewhere. But it's a lot of them have done that.
A mattress?
Yeah, like a lot of restaurants have been doing that kind of thing for years, pulling this cash that comes in.
Yeah.
And then that little invoice or ticket of food just doesn't show up to balance out that income. And I said, it goes on not on the sheets, maybe between the sheets or under the mattress. But that kind of stuff's been happening for a long time. So the only problem with that is if they're accepting Bitcoin, that is
not here. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that is public. So theoretically it could be tracked, but
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you can track Bitcoin easier than you could the cash. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that reserve. I mean, and then you've got Litecoin reserves too. You've got that Lit Strategy they rebranded, and I think they've got 1 million Litecoin they bought. And then Luxfolio's buying 100,000. I think they've got some already, but they're buying 100,000. I think next week of Litecoin. So there's other companies creating crypto reserves, and it's not just Bitcoin now. Litecoin's catching on a little bit, so it's curious. I mean, that just takes it off the market, and they're just.
So I had heard that with these companies creating these reserves and ETFs getting green lighted and all.
Yeah,
that was some of the reason that we're in this lower market right now in crypto, or we're seeing a little bit of a dump, is because they needed the prices to be down while they were.
I'm sure.
Funding
you need to accumulate that stuff, and they don't want to pay full price. Nobody wants to pay. Well, the retail wants to pay full price and then some. FOMO. But no, I mean, any business strategy is going to be, hey, how can I get that cheaper? Let's start a war, and and then deplete that asset, or what I mean, pump that, whatever, manipulate markets. But it's the same kind of thing. So let's see if we can crash the crypto market somehow, and then buy it up on the cheap, and then we can stock up our reserves. Somebody's got to know when these things happen. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody makes money on this stuff, definitely do, and scoops up the assets. But people are scooping up the assets, the digital assets, just like you're talking about with Michael Saylor and real estate, Bitcoin real estate. They are getting these assets and acquiring them and holding them. And so when you have a finite supply, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can fake it. I mean, you can fake transactions and stuff. I mean, these exchanges, it's a little shady, some of the stuff they do. But ultimately, what fixes it and you have a true market is when everybody takes possession of it. Instead of letting it sit on the market, letting it sit there and letting these big companies hold all this stuff. When they run out, it's going to have to be a true market, and instead of manipulation. Um, but I mean, just in the example of the one Litecoin ETF, Canary Capital formed this week, over the 4 days that it's been opened, it's averaged $1 million in Litecoin purchases a day. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but $1 million a day eats up all the supply of Litecoin for that day, and then 2/3 more is needed. So, the mining of that day has been consumed by that company for the last 4 days, and then they're going to market to buy, as an idea. Because I think there's $360,000 at $100 for Litecoin, $360,000 of Litecoin mined a day. And so they're spending 1 million a day in that ETF, so you've got, 640,000 that needs to be acquired, and they're locking that up. So supply will come off the more people that do this, because they're going to hold it, and they're holding it for a reason. Strategery, you know and so yeah, I mean, there's if you realize it's going digital, get a piece of the digital commodities, get a piece of
Mhm.
the digital real estate, get a piece of the digital silver, get a piece of the digital gold, have that stuff in your possession, because I mean, this is where money is going to flow into going forward.
Yeah.
And it's not meme tokens. Just
No,
saying. If for
I think
temporarily
it's
it might, but long
that's for
term,
sure. Well, there, I mean, and I yeah, admire people doing memes and projects. And
it's a
if you
fine,
put the
yeah.
work into it, the creativity, if you have the community
Sure.
around it, you have a use case, like,
Right.
man, go for it. Like we said earlier, the argument that Michael Saylor had that, um, Bitcoin's going to be seen more as like a property, that it's cheaper to buy $1 million of Bitcoin than it is to buy $1 million apartment.
Mhm.
When you look at fees, whether that's realtor fees, maintenance fees, HOA fees, you know, whatever
Right.
that
No,
is.
all the carrying costs of just having that property.
Yeah, but at the same time, then that it, like you said, then it goes away from the Bitcoin white paper, which is
And
okay. We're just
that's
seeing that
okay.
there's more use cases for blockchain. And
Right.
so there's, yes, we need peer-to-peer trustless cash, which was the idea behind the Bitcoin white paper. Um, and that need is still there, and Litecoin fills it really well,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
And there are some others, but but there are other needs out there, and so I'm excited to have people build other
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
exactly. If you're looking for money on the blockchain that you want to store that has value, look at things like Bitcoin and Litecoin. If you're looking for technology on the blockchain that, to put art on the blockchain, to put ideas on the blockchain, to put, books on the blockchain, to do all kinds of different things on the blockchain. There are other blockchains that do that. It's not one fits all. And so that's why we need multiples. And I mean, who cares? I mean, it's going to find its value at some point. But my problem in the whole space is this: don't use deception and say that something is that it isn't. And
Mm,
that a lot of times that's what happens. You'll have people talking about a particular project or this or that. And I mean, there's being disingenuous. Let's be honest about what it is. If Bitcoin's digital real estate, then it's digital real estate, and it's a lot cheaper than carrying costs of real estate. But it's not peer-to-peer money. And then it's just like, oh well, this blockchain is going to do all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, but it has to be rebooted every month. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you want it to work, and maybe that's not the best solution, but acknowledge the flaws and the faults in it, and what it can't do and what it can do, and just be honest with, have the conversation, and let people decide for themselves what they want to use.
yeah,
All right, I'm
for
done.
sure. For sure. Um, No, I don't have. Like I said, I've been watching like when I'm awake. I've been sick since Saturday, I think. Like
Oh man, you've been.
really, really sick. And my sister, who's a RN, came over and she's like, "Oh my God, why didn't you go to the ER?" So I am recovering thanks to a little Pedialyte and lots of love from my mom and my husband and everybody around me. But I haven't been like in the weeds of the news, I guess.
No, I mean there is hope. We did see a mythical creature this week. It was caught on, a photo, the white Iberian lynx. Did you see
Really?
that? That was going all over the place. This white Iberian lynx. I
Didn't say
mean,
it.
it's just like looking at the camera. Looks like some mythical beast,
You
you
know,
know.
here in this area, they have been reporting over the last, I don't know, year or two that new or old species are coming back to this area or they're starting to see them in this area again. And I don't know if that's like I hate to even say the word, a climate thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, the
But
thing with climate is, though, I don't think it's man-made. I mean, climate changes, and yeah, it could just be that particular part of the sun cycle. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's
but
what.
or is it, animals travel on trails and kind of have a built-in radar? Is it the
Uh-huh.
magnetic poles shifting more?
Yeah.
That's another possibility. I don't know.
I mean,
I'll
the Earth. You see those charts that people put out there of the Earth's resonance and how it just gets all wonked and haywire. I mean, this last week has been. Woo, it's like something's happening. What is going on?
Yeah, there's
So yeah, it's got to have an effect
I'm
on
sure
on
it does.
something.
Have you heard any updates on the three eye?
I haven't. I haven't even looked into it. So I mean, it's supposed to be visible at this point on the past the sun, right?
I guess we haven't
I
seen the
haven't heard
sun in
either.
a couple days here, so it's been raining and then super cloudy, and
Yeah, I haven't
so
heard anything about it and haven't sought it out. Nobody's like jamming my feet up or anything with the same,
I guess
craziness.
we'll know when it gets here.
Yeah, I mean, when they show up, I mean, they give me a book that's called To Serve Man, and then we'll figure it out, I guess.
How to Serve Man. It
Mm.
was written by Marina Abramovich or
Oh,
whatever. Yeah, I
jeez. Yeah, right.
think that's right.
Right, right, right. Hey, I do have a kind of I said I'd bring it up. We were talking on Spaces last week about gold, and I don't know how it came up. They were talking about it's just something, gold ratios, to different things. How much gold to buy a house, how much gold for a suit. They
Mm.
always say one gold coin always buys a very fine suit. Throughout history, it maintains that peg, and it just happened to come up. And this is, I mean, I probably shouldn't even bring it up. How much
Most
gold?
of my husband's suits are about 5 grand.
Okay, so you got a $4,000 gold, I mean, right now, so it's pretty close.
Yeah, and I may be underestimating, but that's what he tells me. Um, that probably doesn't include shirts. I don't know. It
Yeah.
certainly doesn't include his shoes. I'll
It's,
tell you that
yes.
because those are another multi-thousand-dollar of his rare
Yeah,
whatever Cayman alligator whatever shoes.
all that stuff. Yeah, so
Oh,
we're just talking about gold ratios, and then it just, I don't know, the spark, it occurred to me because the conversation was about breast implants. How much, because people were saying how much they paid for them, and, oh, my friend paid this much for them back in this day. And I was doing the math in my head, and I said, well, gold at that point was this price, and you paid that much. And I came up with this ratio in my mind that it's 1 ounce of gold per.
boob.
Yes. And is that accurate? Because right now it'd be $8,000. I
I
mean,
have
I'm
no
just curious,
clue.
anybody in the chat that's had it done recently, I mean, or knows, because,
I do
somebody
not
said
know the
in the
price.
past it was this and gold was this price. So I'm thinking it's a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm just putting this
What
together
you're
for
saying is you
my
always need
doctoral
2 ounces of
thesis.
gold.
What's that?
What you're saying is you should always have at least 2 ounces of gold,
Yes. I mean, maybe you should have a couple ounces of gold in reserve just in case, Yeah.
just in case.
Just in case. No, I don't know. Maybe is that accurate though? I'm thinking, that's probably $8,000, for a good job, and so 2 ounces. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know the current going.
But it just popped into my head and I couldn't help it and I brought it up.
Well, there you go. I'm glad you asked.
Gotta be a ratio though, right?
Everything's a ratio, right?
Yeah. And on that note, I'm about to get ratioed out of here. All right, so I got a hot date anyway. I got Freddy Cougar coming over.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, go out.
Nice. Oh,
Frisky Cougar, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the moms from the drive-through line at school.
Cafeteria.
Westwood's got his light on for trick-or-treating tonight. Oh, goodness.
Got the red light on.
Got the red on for trick-or-treating tonight.
No,
Adults only.
I'm just joking.
Too funny.
No, I'm just joking. Maybe. We'll see.
I might be just joking. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
I thought so.
But yeah.
Any questions in the chat?
Oh, yeah, it's Friday night. Who knows what's going to happen?
Out of here. Yeah. So does that mean you're not doing a spaces?
Oh, I'm doing a space.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm doing spaces.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, the only person coming back here tonight is my daughter after trick-or-treating, and I'll probably make something for her to eat, and then I'll be sitting there on spaces. And
I was going to say, you live kind of far out for
ain't nobody coming here. Nobody's coming here.
We didn't even think we were going to get any, and we're just like on the edge of
no cat lady moms, are coming to the door with their children here. That's not going to happen. So no.
Oh, goodness.
Poison Ivy or whatever the other characters are. Yeah, Poison Ivy would be bad for me. That's why I got the beard now, just because, that breakout. And I'm just like, I couldn't shave. And so I just left the beard. Yeah, Poison Ivy would get me good. I can't deal with that. Anyway. For more rambling sessions, subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can hear me ramble every day.
Your videos have been great. I'm glad the school started back because it gets you consistent and posting.
Yeah, it does.
The silver slipper, I do have to make a complaint on her.
Yeah,
there's a little rattle.
There was a rattle today. I noticed it. I don't know what it was. If it was the camera hitting.
I think it might be your camera positioning.
I think it was hitting the steering wheel or something.
Okay.
It's really close. And I noticed it today. I was like, wait a minute. I'm playing it back.
I've ridden in that car and I never noticed that before.
No, it's the freaking thing. I know what's wrong with it. I'll fix it. I'm sorry. I mean, I'll get with the audio crew and have them get on that.
Have your AV people.
Yes, I'll get that taken care of this weekend. Pronto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll just drive the Digibug next week. F it.
There you go. It'll be cool enough. You won't have to worry about the air conditioning not working.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's true. I don't worry about it.
That's good. And to everybody in the chat that noticed I moved over to this side, it's because the chat is just cutting out through Westwood's name, and I wanted to make sure everybody knew and had access to his website, because he's got a lot of great resources on there for people, especially that are new or beginning, or you're looking for like options or education solutions. So check out his website, clintwestwood.net, and follow him on YouTube for some daily inspiration and kind of a current quick update, because they're always good to listen.
Yes, and ladies, if you're in the area, I've got my email address there. Just go ahead and send a message and I'll get back to you.
Oh my.
Hot commodity here, let me tell you.
All right. He's subtle. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging in there. We love you all in the chat.
Yes, I love you all.
The best community.
Some more than others, but I love you all.
All right. Good night, guys. Happy birthday, Bitcoin.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.